In order to subscribe to receive those, you can go to our website at westworldtours.com/subscribe, and that'll take you right to the page, and you'll just enter your email address and you'll be signed up and you won't miss a thing. So hopefully you'll be able to join us going forward and entertain our presentation for Egypt, Ireland, Italy, and Morocco. We will go further into November as well, so you'll want to make sure you don't miss out on any of those. I want to take a quick minute here to tell you about one of our fabulous tours, which is our anniversary tour to Florida Keys and Panama Canal Cruise. It's our 24th anniversary collection with Coral. Coral is our senior tour director and is widely known by our repeat customers. So hopefully if you're not a repeat customer, you can join us and you'll have a chance to meet Coral. I know she'd love to meet you. But this is a fabulous tour, as you can see. It goes January 22nd to February 12th, 2024. It's 22 days in length. You're going to cover 5 countries, and it includes 52 meals. That's a lot of inclusions on this tour. Of course, you're going to fly into Fort Lauderdale. You'll board the ship in Miami. You're going to cruise down Cartagena, through the Panama Canal, and up through along the coast there. You can see the different ports of call, eventually making your way into Santa Monica. And then you'll spend a night in Santa Monica enjoying the pier there, and then fly home from there. We have limited space available. Our cruise line space, our cruise line space will be recalled soon. So if this is something that interests you, we encourage you to get in contact with your travel agent or reach out to us on our website. You can email us at inquiries@westworldtours.com, and we'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. Speaking of anniversary, 2025 is going to be our 25th anniversary. We will have been in business for 25 years, and we're hoping you'll give us a suggestion as where we should go for our 25th wedding anniversary is what I was going to say. Our 25th anniversary. So if you have any suggestions, please let us know. You can enter them into the chat right now at any time. We're always looking for everybody's ideas as to where they would like to travel. So please share your thoughts with us on where you think we should be going for our 25th anniversary celebration tour. So Leanne, I'm going to, I'm going to carry on here for a bit, and then I'm going to turn it over to you. So as I had mentioned in the previous slide, we've been in business since 2000, serving Canadians from coast to coast. Escorted travel throughout North America and around the world. And again, 2025 will be our 25th year. We present quality components, including modern, comfortable coaches, professional tour directors, experienced, courteous drivers, baggage handling, and excellent accommodations. Again, we'd like to know where you think we should be going to in 2025. So again, please enter that into the chat or send us an email. We'd love to hear from you. We do take in all the important sites and attractions, and we always include several meals throughout. They will vary from tour to tour. Thousands of passengers have chosen our first-class style of touring, enjoying the great value, security, and stress-free environment, all while making new friends along the way. Pardon me. My computer is very touchy, and it wants to move me forward through this presentation quite quickly. Anyway, we do know that our tour directors love to see those repeat people on our coaches and would love to meet the new ones, and hopefully we can welcome you on board soon. If you've traveled with us before, we look forward to that. And if you haven't traveled with us before, we look forward to welcoming you on board. So anybody watching this evening has traveled with us before, you could just let us know. If you have or you haven't, we're always curious to know how many people have traveled with us before. It looks like it's a pretty close split here, Leanne. It looks like about 60% of the passengers watching have traveled with us before. And oh, those numbers are changing. No, 60% have not traveled with us before. 60-40 split, yes, to traveling with us, and 40% not traveling with us. So again, as I mentioned, if you haven't traveled with us before, we'd love to welcome you on board. And for those that have traveled with us, we'd love to welcome you back once again. Now, I am going to hang on here. Turn the presentation over to Leanne, and she's going to tell you all about Peru.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So we're going to talk a little bit about Peru and the Great Amazon River Expedition. This tour is departing May 8th, 2024 until the 23rd of May. We're going to dive right into one of the most intriguing lost and found stories. We'll experience the culture, the food, the wildlife, and just the incredible landscapes, history, and where lost civilizations were lost, and meet some of the Peruvian people. So you'll get to explore Lima and its colonial past, uncover the mysteries of the ancient Incan Empire. You'll visit the Sacred Valley in Machu Picchu. You'll explore the world's highest navigable lake, Lake Titicaca. And then you will get to enjoy a wonderful 5-day cruise down the mighty Amazon River aboard a luxury riverboat, which is actually pictured here. So we look forward to sharing more about it with you. Okay, so here is just a bit of a visual for you. I always know I like to look at a map and see where I'm going. So you'll notice that we fly in and out of Lima, and we'll travel by plane to Cuzco. From there, we will visit the Sacred Valley, we'll visit Machu Picchu, and some other locations along the way that we'll talk about later. And then we'll travel overland by bus down to Puno, which is where you'll find Lake Titicaca, the highest navigable lake. We'll get to do a cruise out to the Uros floating islands, which is really unique. And from there, you will fly all the way up to Iquitos, which is where you will board the river cruise for your 5 days down the Amazon. As you can see here, we have a very large list of highlights and experiences that you'll get to experience on this tour. You'll see we have 15 nights accommodation, all your transportation, including your internal flights, the train that we take to Machu Picchu, your coach, as well as your cruise. And you'll see the large amount of meals, which is really handy when after you've had a long day of traveling, you get to sit back and enjoy dinner pre-arranged for you. You don't have to go out and explore. So we have 40 meals included as well. And of course, all the excursions and things that we're going to do. Okay, so Lima, you've arrived. Lima is a bustling city. Lots of really interesting things can be found here. You'll learn more about their culture, and it's filled with colonial era riches and ancient ruins. And it's the only capital in South America that actually faces the sea and is hailed as the gastronomic capital of Latin America. And the food is very, very good. I was there about 5 years ago. So upon arrival, you'll transfer to your hotel and have a little bit of time to freshen up before heading out on a private guided tour. So you'll visit the district of Pueblo Libre to enjoy a lunch before visiting the Larco Harem Museum. And it's a colonial mansion built in the 18th century, and you'll see that in the top left-hand corner. And it houses an extensive collection of pre-Columbian art, textiles, and ceramics made with various materials and tools that were used by the ancient Peruvians, including gold and silver pieces and some semi-precious stones. And then you'll see our lunch spot there. Okay, So then after we visit the museum and have lunch, we will carry on to the main square, which is Plaza de Armas. And you'll see that in the top the top left-hand image. And so this is where Lima was first founded as a city of kings in 1535. You'll get to see the presidential palace, the archbishop's palace, the Lima Cathedral, and the Aligala House, which was constructed by Francisco Pizarro as for one of his captains when he founded the city. And from there, the day is not over quite yet. You get to visit St. Francis's Church, which you'll see in the bottom middle photo there. And inside the church it's just beautiful, as you can see in the photos. The church houses an enviable collection of old books, authentic network of catacombs, and we will actually visit the catacombs down in the basement if you'd like. So you can see a photo in the bottom right-hand corner. It's a really unique experience to visit, and you can actually see the bones that they've excavated, and they're all just laying out there. And this evening we'll have a welcome dinner, and you guys will be able to just kind of explore on your own if you wish. And it's just a beautiful location for our dinner. As you can see, you'll be able to have views of the pyramids in the bottom left-hand corner that are over 1,500 years old. So it'll be a great spot for dinner. And the next day, you'll wake up refreshed after that busy day. And if you have some free time in the morning, it's about a 10-minute walk from your hotel, the best churros you've ever had in your whole life. And you can see this is my photo of me holding 3 different flavors when I was there a few years ago. So very good, highly recommend when you're visiting. And as you can see, beautiful views from our hotel, and a short stroll down if you'd like to look over the ocean and just kind of explore the area. It's very safe to walk around and easy to head out and look over the ocean. Okay, so after our time in Lima has come to an end, we will travel by flight to Cusco. And from here, you will see the Cusco down in the very bottom in the blue circle. So we'll travel from Cusco all the way up to Chincheros, and then up to the Bamba area, and then into Ollantaytambo for the evening. So you'll be coming back to Cusco in a few days to explore a little bit more. But this just gives you kind of an idea of where you'll be traveling to. And along the way, you will want to keep your eye out for these famous sky lodges. So I guess luckily, or maybe unluckily for you, depending if you like heights or not, but we are not staying at these. I think it would be really kind of a fun experience, but not definitely for everybody. And you will see those on your drive to Ollantaytambo. So one of the stops that we visit today is the Maris Salt Mine, and they have been used for centuries to mine salt in the Sacred Valley. And you'll be mesmerized by the naturally occurring salt mines that are still cultivated to date. There's a small shop here where you can purchase salts to take home, bath salts, or even just the salt that's extracted here. You'll also visit Moray, which is an incredible archaeological site, as you can see on the right-hand side, with unusual ruins. And as you can see, they're circular shaped terraces. And the purpose of these depressions are actually unknown, but scholars believe they were the place that they did agricultural research. The different levels had different temperatures, so it could vary as much as 15 degrees Celsius between the top and the bottom. And so just simulating different ecological climates of the Andes. And so you'll have a chance to walk through here. As you can see in some of the pictures, that there are trails that you can walk along and go down in and just view them. It's really a neat experience to see those. Okay, so after we travel from the salt mines and the and Moray, we will end in the Sacred Valley. And so you'll have a lovely hotel. As you can see, the setting is just like beautiful down there. And at night you can sit around a bonfire, visit the planetarium and view the stars, or just kind of wander around and explore the area at night, or sit back and relax. So next we'll visit the town of Chintero, and it's a traditional urban center located at an elevated point with a beautiful view of the valley. So here there is some unique sites along the way, but this is one of them. It's a small Andean village, and it's home to the famous Peruvian weavers. And it's believed also to be the mythical birthplace of the rainbow. So that's kind of interesting. And here you'll get a chance to see how they color and weave the alpaca wool. And a little fun fact, I'm not sure if any of you were aware, but Peru actually has an enormous variety of potatoes. You can see some of them in the top right-hand corner, but they actually have over 4,000 different varieties and that have been counted. So you'll also see that they grow a wide variety of other crops such as quinoa and vegetables in the ancient terraces. And you'll also notice a lot of corn stands that you can buy a cob of corn. And you can see that in the middle bottom photo. And so that's not a stick of butter. That's actually a piece of cheese that they have with the corn. I've never tried that before. It's interesting. Anyway, everyone, all the locals, you always see them with a cob of corn and eating it. But they're known for their giant corn. So check out the kernels on that corn compared to that fingernail. So they're huge. In one other location, we actually saw them popped. So you can buy bags of popped corn. And it's sweet. It's not like our butter and salt. It's a sweet flavor. But the kernels were just massive. It was really something to try. So, and you'll also see them, like I said, how they dye the wool. And you'll get a demonstration on that. So the next day, while we're in the Sacred Valley, you will be touring the Living Museum of Yakai. And it's a center, Andean traditions, interpretations. They'll have demonstrations of the textile work, adobe pottery, and silverware. And you'll just get to explore that. They also have a museum that includes llamas, sheep, alpacas that can be fed outside. And then you'll have a lovely Peruvian lunch with a local family at their home. And the family that you'll be visiting with is they're collectors of Peruvian artifacts. So they'll have a variety of popular colonial art, ceramics, paintings, weapons, photography, ceremonial vessels, things that were used back in the Incan time. So you'll have a busy day exploring the history. And then after that, our last stop of the day is in a town called Ollantaytambo. So this is the town that kind of where the road ends and where you begin your train journey to Machu Picchu. So this is a massive Incan fortress with a large stone terraces on a hillside overlooking the village. And it's just a beautiful area. And it's a cute little town. You'll be able to pick up any last minute, souvenirs, water, lip chap, whatever you need before you travel into Aguas Caliente and Machu Picchu. Okay, so now one of the biggest highlights of the trip, I would say, is your day that you get to visit Machu Picchu. So from Aguas Caliente, Ollantaytambo, you will travel by train to Aguas Calientes, which is the city at the base of Machu Picchu. So there are no roads, so everyone comes in by train or by foot. So you will depart the train station in the iconic Vista Dome. So you'll be able to have beautiful views of the Urubamba Valley on your way. Dramatic landscape, you'll see the mountains up above, the beautiful river flowing below. And then after about an hour and a half journey on the Vista Dome, you will pull into the town of Aguas Calientes. And from there, you will travel up the mountain into Machu Picchu for your first view of this beautiful lost city. Okay, so these are the views of Machu Picchu. So you'll be able to explore the ruins and wander through, and you'll have a local guide that will take you through this UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the 7 wonders of the modern world. It's just a masterpiece of engineering and architecture that served as a sanctuary and a resting residence for the Incas. So in the background of the photo, I guess both the right-hand side photos is Huayna Picchu, which is a mountain that you can hike up to. This is me in the photo. I had just completed the 4-day Inca trek, which is about I think it's a 48-kilometer trek from just outside of Ollantaytambo to Machu Picchu. So it was a very rewarding experience, and being able to have your first glimpse of Machu Picchu was really special. And so the photo of me is taken from the Sun Gate, and you can walk up there if you'd like. It's just an easy inclined dirt path that is very accessible, but you can also get these beautiful views from right in and not have to climb up anywhere. So back into Aguas Calientes for a delicious lunch, and then the remainder of your day is free to explore Aguas Calientes before meeting up for an evening dinner. And this town is very walkable. There is a slight incline to it, but they have lots of shops, lots of little markets, and it's just a cute little town to explore. There's the beautiful river running through it, so it's nice to just wander around. And this is the hotel that we're staying at, and it's located at the foot of the historic sanctuary of Machu Picchu in the town of Aguas Calientes, right near the river. You have these incredible views of the surrounding mountains and landscape, and it's just a short walk to the center of town. So you'll be able to explore and have a little bit of peace out in town. Okay, so this is the next day. You will get to visit Machu Picchu for a second time. The first yesterday would have been a little bit shorter, and now you get to have a little bit of time to explore more of it or go back to a spot where you want to see again. So you'll take the shuttle back up the mountain and discover the mysteries behind this awe-inspiring ancient civilization. You can visit the citadels. Inca Picchu was a kind of checkpoint, and you can walk up to the Sun Gate, and there are all kinds. If you travel at the right time of the year during, I'm not even sure if it's a summer solstice, but the sun just lines up perfectly through some of these windows. So it's a really interesting place, and lots of people come for these once a year type visits, but it's a very fascinating place, and your guide will be able to provide you with all the details on that. And then you'll take the train back to Cuzco, where you'll have dinner that evening. So you'll travel back, like I said, via the Vista Dome train to Aguas Caliente, where you got on, and then you will take a coach bus back to Cuzco, which is about an hour and a half to 2-hour drive. So, and then you'll have dinner that evening and have a little bit of time to explore Cuzco on your own. Okay, so the next day when you're in Cuzco, you'll have a tour of some of the ruins outside of the city and nearby. So one of them is called Sexy Woman. That is how they pronounce it for tourists. And that is how I pronounce it, because it's quite a long word, and that is easy. So one of the most emblematic constructions of the Incas is just minutes from the city, and it's a World Cultural Heritage Site listed by UNESCO. And so it was built in the 15th century. And there's a huge fortress made of large stones. And you know, how they transported these large stones is still a mystery, and how they get them to fit together just so perfectly without, you know, the modern day tools or mortar, things like that. It's just incredible. Even when you're at Machu Picchu, just like take a look at the stonework and how they fit together just so perfectly. It's really fascinating. So you'll be transferred to some of these ruins outside of the city, and you'll also visit Plaza de Armas, which is the center of Cuzco, and you'll see the Cuzco Cathedral, and it's one of the most impressive monuments in the Plaza de Armas. And it was constructed construction began in 1560 and ended in 1654. So, you know, it almost took 100 years to construct. And yeah, you'll just get to visit some of the different ruins throughout the city. And they're just beautiful. So you'll get to take those all in. There's, you know, a water temple. There's just all kinds that you'll get to experience. So from there, we are going to depart Cuzco and travel the route of the sun to Puno. So we'll travel by coach from Cuzco to Puno, which is about 7 hours in total. And we'll visit Andahuaylas, Raqui, and Quechua, Pucapuquera along the way with your private guide. And you'll get to enjoy lunch at a local restaurant. And you'll get to, you know, just enjoy some of the stops along the way and visit the temple of Huayracocha, and you know, have a beautiful lunch on the Andean Plateau at a local restaurant, and just witness amazing landscapes of La Rea, the highest point between Cuzco and Puno. And you'll see those unique formations and structures. So arriving in Puno, your hotel is centrally located right along Plaza de Armas. So there's lots of different shops, restaurants. Your meal is included tonight at the hotel. Your dinner is included, but there's lots of, you know, restaurants if you'd like to go out and try a pisco sour. If you haven't tried one of those, that's the Peruvian famous drink. It's good. You should try it. So. And souvenir shops, and you know, all kinds of things. So the next day you get to visit the world's highest navigable lake, Lake Titicaca. And as you can see, the Uros Islands are something really special, and something that you've probably never seen before. I don't know anywhere in the world that has things like this. But according to Andean legend, the sun was birthed in the shimmering deep blue of Lake Titicaca. It's South America's largest lake and has long been home to highland cultures, including pre-Inca, Puquera, among others. And so you'll enjoy a tour of this mystical region and uncover Lake Titicaca's famous islands. And they're famous for their tranquil beauty and their unique ways of life. So you'll spend an entire morning here just cruising this lake, visiting the floating islands of the Uros. And the Uros are an ancestral society and descendants of one of the oldest cultures in South America. They inhabit a series of artificial islands, handmade with torta reeds. So you will get a demonstration of how they maintain and build these islands. You get to walk on an island. It's really a unique experience. You'll, you know, feel like a waterbed. But yeah, it's really interesting. It's kind of one of those things where you have to experience it to know what it feels like. But after your time on the lake, you will have lunch, and then the remainder of your afternoon's free. So if you'd like to wander around the downtown area, there is lots to do. And from here, you will board a flight from Puno to Iquitos, and you'll travel up to board your cruise for the Amazon River. And from here, I will pass it off to Cindy, and she will tell you more about this really exciting river cruise. Oh, Cindy, you're on mute. We've taken a break for
okay. It just took me a while. Took me a while to hit the unmute button there. Yes, anyway, thank you, Leanne. And now I'm going to tell everybody about the amazing river cruise on the Amazon. A very unique experience for sure. So as Leanne mentioned, you'll fly from Puno to Iquitos via Lima. And we're going to actually head into, this little map helps you here, up over here, way up here. This is the northeastern section of Peru, and the city of Iquitos is on the borders on the Amazon River. And from there is where you're going to begin your journey. As you can see, the distance from Lima is over 1,000 kilometers. So you're heading, quite a ways away. We're covering a lot of Peru, as you can see, from the southern portion where Puno is up into the northern region, the northeastern region, and the Amazon. Here you're going to be cruising deep within the Amazon rainforest to the largest protected area in Peru, the Pacaya Samiria National Reserve. It's the second largest ecological reserve in the entire Amazon, only second to the one in Brazil. And it covers a vast wilderness of unexplored forests, lagoons, inlets, and rivers totaling over 5 million acres. And we're not going to cover all 5 million acres on the cruise, but we will cover a fair good section of it. It's actually a flooded tropical rainforest, commonly referred to as the jungle of mirrors. The reserve provides a number of jobs for locals, which reduces pressures on the population to illegally hunt or harvest wood, and preserving the natural state of the Amazon jungle, and has a positive socio-economical impact. Tourism plays a huge part in that. And by visiting, you're actually helping to preserve the Amazon by providing the local indigenous people that still live and work along the river with another source of income. As we stated, it does help save the Amazon. But you're going to come into Iquitos, and we will be transferred to our hotel for the evening. I will stay the one night in Iquitos, and you'll enjoy a group dinner that evening. And we'll have our local guide that will tell us all about the city and the area before we head out the next morning to Nota. And that's actually where the road ends. I should say Iquitos is another very secluded area, much like the town of Aguascalientes, as the only way that you can get to the city of Iquitos is to fly or walk. And they do have one road that leads in and out, but it's only about 50 kilometers long, and that's it. Nothing but rainforest around it. A very unique area. So anyway, we will travel by coach on the one road that there is to the port of Nota, and that's where, like I said, the road ends, and it's going to take about approximately an hour and a half drive. Then we'll board skiffs, and the skiffs are the images that you can see on the bottom left-hand side of your screen there. And those skiffs are going to take us out to our ship, the Zafiro. And the Zafiro is imaged there on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. And you're going to begin one of life's greatest adventures, cruising the Amazon. You'll have naturalist guides on board to tell you all about the wildlife, the flora, the fauna. You'll have guided excursions with your naturalists and activities like piranha fishing, jungle trekking, and wildlife watching. Before we set sail, there will be a short introduction on safety, and you'll meet all of your onboard staff, the naturalists, and your bartender will make you probably one of those pisco sours if you haven't had one yet. I'm sure the bartender on board will be preparing one for you. And you can sip it and enjoy the 360-degree views from the observation deck, or the panoramic views that are on board in the lounges. We'll have lunch on board, and then you're going to have an overview from your naturalists, and they're going to give the itinerary, the things that you'll be seeing, the activities, the routes, the tributaries you'll be traveling on. They're full of information. It'll be very knowledgeable, educational experience as well as cultural. So then, let's see here, we'll move on to the next slide. I'll tell you a little bit about the cruise ship itself. The Zafiro was inspired by the area of the first expeditions to the Amazon basin. It's designed for relaxation, disconnection, and discovery. With a fusion of traditional and contemporary styles, it makes a unique venue for comfort and exploration. There are 19 luxury suites providing privacy and tranquility to enjoy a privileged experience. All the suites have panoramic floor-to-ceiling windows that allow you to appreciate the immensity of the Amazon from a private and exclusive setting. All of them are fully equipped with air conditioning, a private bathroom, a mini bar. They're fitted with Peruvian Pima cotton sheets and exotic fruit-infused amenities, among others. So as you can see, these are images of the lower deck where they have no balcony, but the windows are definitely floor-to-ceiling windows. Some of the staterooms here will provide you with a connecting room too. So if you've got another couple of friends that you're traveling with and you'd like to be able to open that door up and go back and forth, we can accommodate that, but it is a select few. There is 8 staterooms on the upper floor, or the second deck, they call that. And these do provide, again, the floor to ceiling windows, as well as a balcony for you to be outside enjoying as you're cruising along. And then there are some specialty suites as well. So on the front of the lower deck, we have the master suites. There's 2 of them, and they have a 90-degree view, floor to ceiling windows. They're beautifully appointed staterooms. And then there is one Zafiro suite, which provides you with a full 180-degree view. It's located on the second deck, on the upper deck, with along the front, and you've got the full view. All the public areas on board the cruise ship also provide you with incredible views, pretty much unobstructed views everywhere you are, as you can see from these images. That would be the lounge area on board the cruise ship. Here's the dining area on board. As you can see, unobstructed views, glass everywhere. And on board, you'll enjoy a unique culinary experience based on Amazonian foods and international gastronomy. Excellent food and a great variety. You'll enjoy expert naturalist guided excursions and activities, including piranha fishing. There'll be jungle trekking and wildlife watching. You'll have evening outings with the naturalist to learn about the rainforest's nocturnal critters as well. As you can see, those naturalists are very hands-on and will handle the wildlife so that you get a really close-up view of them as well. You'll rise with the sun nice and early and go for boating expeditions on the skiffs along the Amazon River to explore the local flora and fauna. You'll enjoy your breakfast on board, and then you can head out again to observe perhaps the pink and gray river dolphins. You might catch sight of them. and then you come back again for lunch, and then you'll head out again. One of the areas, pardon me, I have a tickle in my throat, is an area where you will view the largest water lily in the world, the Victoria regia, and in its natural habitat as well. Then it'll be back to the boat for dinner, and the onboard entertainment is provided by your onboard staff. It's really a personal experience on board. Like I said, it's a very small ship, not a lot of passengers, and you will really get to know your, pardon me, your onboard crew. Again, pardon me. So you'll have different outings on your skiff to different lakes and lagoons in search of the Japanese lagoon. You'll enjoy a picnic in one of the best conserved and protected areas of the Pacaya-Samaria National Reserve. This is also a great spot to see the pink river dolphins. You can take an kayaking, or you can actually go for a dip in the Amazon as well. Again, all your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinners are all on board. You'll walk through the hanging bridges in the rainforest, and you can view them from the treetops. You can see that on your left hand side of your screen. In the middle there, you have a picture of one of the naturalists who is got something in his hand, one of the critters, and he's going to educate you on that, tell you all about them. So it really is a very informative experience. You can see the pink river dolphins down there in the bottom right hand of your screen. And again, you could choose to go out kayaking. There's lots of options while you're on board, as well as the evening entertainment. Every evening is, live music, and you'll have a gala captain's dinner. Again, a very intimate experience and a very personal experience. You'll get to visit some of the communities and people of the Amazon and see how they live, learn about their lifestyles. You'll get to do a plant a tree ceremony, which is part of a positive contribution to the environment as well. You'll visit some of the markets that the local ladies have put together in anticipation of your arrival. And again, this is all, feeds into the health of the Amazon as well. You'll also get to visit a manatee rescue center, and where they have rescued the manatees and are rehabilitating them so that they can be released back into the wild again. They do have a number of other animals, and besides just the manatees, they are, a wildlife rescue center, and they really do wonderful work. And it's, of course, the wildlife, very important to the Amazon and the Amazon River as well. So we'll get to spend a little bit of time there, and you'll learn more about the rescue, the rescued animals, how they rehabilitate them, their importance to the environment and the ecological system there, before we head to our airport and back into Lima. So once we're done and we disembark from the cruise ship, we will travel back by coach into the city of Iquitos, and we will board a flight back to Lima, and we'll have a wonderful, relaxing evening back in Lima, and a final dinner with our fellow travelers before we head back home. And that pretty much wraps up our journey into the Amazon and Peru. Here is just a pictures of some of the wildlife that you will, see and can see while you're cruising through the Amazon. They've got spider monkeys, the sloths. I know that's one of Leanne's favorites, is the sloths, and the capybaras, and all kinds of colorful wildlife, giant river otters. The list goes on and on and on. And Again, that's our Peru, an overview of our Peru and the Great River Expedition, departing May 8th to the 23rd, 2024. We do still have space available on this tour, and our cruise space will be released shortly. So if you're thinking about joining us, we encourage you to book soon, as we can only guarantee the space while we have control over it. And once it's released, then it's on a request basis. So hopefully you'll be able to join us. Now, Leanne, do you want to tell everybody about this Halloween contest that we've got going on right now?
You betcha. So during the month of October, we are trick-or-treating with Westworld and Women Explorers. So on select tours and the Peru and the Great Amazon trip, if you book this tour and some of the select other ones before October 31st, you can choose one of our little friends here, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and you'll find a treat behind it. So we've got some good prizes behind these little guys.
No tricks, Leanne, just treats?
Well, no tricks, but we might make you sing for it.
Okay, there we go. So again, Peru is a fantastic, a diverse country. It is a wonderful experience, as Leanne can attest to. It certainly is top of my bucket list, and we really want to thank you for joining us. And now we'll take a little bit of time and get to your questions. If you haven't had a chance to type something into that chat box, please do now, and we will get to your questions.
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
let's see,
So someone here asks, will we need any special clothing or footwear? I can take that if you'd like, Cindy.
Sure,
so for Peru, no, you don't need anything. We're not doing any hiking. You'll do a little bit of walking around the city. Cusco and some areas of Lima do have cobblestone streets, so just be mindful of that. Probably no high-heeled shoes, maybe just for your evenings out if you wish, but this is a very casual trip, so even on the ship you don't need anything fancy.
No, I would recommend that you do have closed-toed shoes for when you are doing the cruise and you're walking through through the rainforest. Yeah, you get long pants and for those little versions that you're doing. But when you're on board the ship itself, it's all very casual. It's going to be warm and humid in the Amazon, so you're going to want to have light clothes for sure. But when you're doing your expeditions, you're going to want closed-toed shoes. You want long sleeves, lightweight, obviously, and lightweight full-length pants.
Yeah. Okay, Linda asks, how do I send this to other people? I think, Linda, you're referring to how do you send this presentation. It's on Facebook, so you can tag folks in that. We will have it up on our website as well tomorrow under our virtual presentations, so you can send someone the link or direct them there. And we will be sending it out automatically if you signed up to watch the presentation, but we're not actually able to make it. You will get the recording of it as well. And then someone asks, how many spots are on this tour? So I believe we take about 30 people as the maximum. This is a small group tour,
right?
So we wouldn't want to take any more than that.
Yeah, there's only like 18 staterooms available on board the cruise ship portion, so that is the maximum that we can take.
Yeah. Okay, someone else asked, would one experience altitude issues? So I can answer that. That was from Gladys. So Gladys, yes, we do recommend talking to your doctor prior to leaving on this trip, or even before booking if you are concerned about it. They do offer altitude medication that you can get through your doctor through a prescription. We do recommend taking that because Lake Titicaca will be the highest point that you will visit on this trip, as well as the La Raya Pass that you will be passing through, but you're driving. So So you'll be flying into Lima, which is at sea level, and traveling to Cuzco, which is at elevation. I believe Cuzco is around 2,300 meters. And from there, you'll be traveling into Machu Picchu area, which is lower. So you will be able to adjust slowly to the altitude, and you may not even need the medication. Side effects of altitude, of course, are, headache, dizziness, things like that. So it is best to have that, but you can also, combat the side effects with drinking lots of water, avoiding drinking alcoholic drinks, lots of rest, things like that. But I do recommend talking to your doctor and bringing those altitude medication with you. Once you get to Puno, you will have been at elevation for a little while, but Puno is significantly higher than Cuzco, so you should be okay because you have, adjusted to it. But I would recommend, and then of course, once you get to Iquitos, you will be, at sea level, so you should be good by the time you get to the Amazon. So
I know, Leanne, you always recommend that try the cocoa tea as well. That
yes,
will
the
help.
cocoa tea. Yeah. So it's they offer it everywhere, and it is said to help with altitude medication, or sorry, not medication, altitude sickness. So yes, cocoa tea, it's leaves and they put it in the tea. It's fine. It's nothing, it doesn't taste terrible. It's something to try when you're there, even if you don't get altitude sickness. Have a cup of cocoa tea every morning. So they offer it at all the hotels and locations where you're at.
Yeah, and like you said too, you are going into elevation slowly at different graduate levels, and traveling by coach as well versus just instantly into that high altitude. So
yes, that's also beneficial because you are gradually doing it rather than flying from sea level to elevation. You have that chance to slowly adjust, and being at visiting Cuzco, which is at elevation but not really high, and Machu Picchu before going to Puno is really beneficial.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so,
and that's the way we've planned the tour. So it's easiest to the least opportunity to experience altitude sickness.
Yeah. Okay, and then someone asked, how many days are on the Amazon? So
we've got 5 days and 4 full nights on board the Zafiro, cruising along the Amazon, plus the 1 night in Iquitos as well. So you're staying along the Amazon there.
Okay. We had another, can we ride the alpacas? No. Alpacas are typically used for, hauling things, but not for humans to ride. You know what? When I was there, I don't think I saw any people riding an alpaca, but packing things they do sometimes.
Yeah, they're used as a pack animal at high altitude for sure.
Yeah. So, and any special vaccinations. So that's something that you'll want to talk to your doctor and the travel health clinic as well. From my experience, they will probably recommend malaria for the mosquitoes because you are going to be in the Amazon. Yellow fever may be recommended. You aren't traveling to another country that would require it, being that you're in the Amazon in Peru and not traveling into another country from the Amazon. So you should be okay. But again, I am not a doctor. So give your doctor and the travel health clinic, they are the experts on what is, required or recommended. I don't believe there's any requirements, but
well, there's none that are required for Peru, so just recommended, and that's again a personal choice between your physician and the travel health clinic.
For sure. Yeah. Okay, no questions. Thank you for an excellent presentation. Thank you, Edith. Okay, how much walking is there at the high altitude? So there isn't any walking. I shouldn't say there isn't any walking. There is walking, but it's at a very leisurely pace. It's really just you exploring Machu Picchu at your own leisurely pace through there. And there is, some up and down, and there's a few steps in there getting in and out of the ruins, but it's nothing strenuous, that's for sure. You take the bus up, so there's no walking there. It's nice paths. It's very flat. It's not, besides that there are up and downs, it's flat and smooth. There's no, uneven surfaces really, besides the steps, of course, because they were hand built, are not, the same size as a stair step would be. But other than that, it's very minimal walking, strenuous walking at altitude. And then, of course, in Cuzco, you'll walk around some of those Incan sites, but again, nothing strenuous. And of course, there are some uneven terrain just because of the location we're at and how it was built way back. But
yes, and I can say that on the cruise portion, obviously there will be, some walking involved as you're, doing some adventuring out into the rainforest itself. Once you're, take your skiff out and do a few excursions, but there is not like a lengthy hike involved by any means. It's minimal walking, and you will be walking over uneven ground when you are in the Amazon area. It's the jungle, so you can, there are paths, obviously, but you can imagine what the vegetation is like, so you can imagine the roots and things. So it is going to be uneven ground, but not any stretch of walking.
And not at altitude, so you don't need to worry about
you're at sea level.
Breath,
yeah,
so.
You're at sea level, and the only other thing is getting in and out off the boat into the skiffs and back onto the boat and that type of thing. As far as abilities go, it's not strenuous at all.
Yeah. I don't see any other questions here, but I will also mention that actually our 2 suites that Cindy talked about that are so beautiful are actually sold out. So we have just the other 2 categories which are available, which are equally as beautiful, but not quite as large. And I did also want to mention something that we forgot, and Cindy reminded me when she talked about the tree planting ceremony, but Westworld Tours actually plants 2 trees for every passenger that we send on tour to help offset our carbon emissions through our partnership with Trees for Travel. So we're really proud of that, and just wanted to mention that as I just caught my brain when you had mentioned the tree planting ceremony.
Yeah, and you can actually watch our forest grow. So we do have a link on our website that you can click on to see where we're planting trees, what types of trees we're planting. It's a wonderful organization.
Perfect.
So I think that's it. If you have more questions, you can email us at inquiries@westworldtours.com. Reach out to your local travel agent. We're here to answer any questions you might have with regards to this tour or any of our tours. So thanks so much for joining us this evening, and hopefully you'll join us for our upcoming